Welcome back everybody, how are you all doing? Right, I think it's about time we did a tutorial on a car repair. We've done plenty of metal detecting and that, so yeah. The other day, well 2 days ago, the airbag light came on my Rover 75. Now, I haven't looked at the problem yet and I've got no diagnostic scanner to plug into the car, so what can we do about it? Well, there's a couple of things you can check before you go taking your car to a garage, or if you've got diagnostic stuff, plugging into it. But obviously if you've got diagnostic stuff, first thing I would do is just plug straight in, read the fault code, see what you got. If you don't have diagnostic stuff, you're pretty limited on what you can do. Now there is a common fault on most cars which will put the airbag light on. And I'll show you what it is now. Okay, here we go. So there we go, the airbag light is staying on. And also the bulb failure light is on, but that's another problem. I know what's causing that. It's not a bulb, it's rusty connections on the rear lamps. But this is the one we're interested in. And although this is not going to fix every single case, on 99% of airbag faults it will. Now something I've got to stress here, and I'll explain this now. Right, let's knock this off. Right, if the fault is not related to what I'm about to do to this car, there's no way on earth it's going to put the light off. So before people start throwing comments saying, oh, I did what you said and the light's still on, it's, if you've got another problem, it's not going to fix it. Some make and models, the fault code will remain in the ECU. In fact, it will on all models, but on some makes and models, the light will go off once the fault is gone, but the fault code will still remain. But on other makes, until the code is cleared, the light is going to stay on even though the fault has been fixed. And I'm going to show you now what I'm about to do to this, and hopefully, I haven't looked at this yet, mind, but this is the most common thing that will cause it. So let's have a look, shall we? Take a look under your driver's seat and you see that yellow plug. Anything with a yellow plug usually is an airbag related component. And then what can happen is you ram the seat backwards or forwards, you jump in the car a bit too hard, and you can dislodge those the connections on those plugs. Now there's usually the airbag itself, or the pretensioner, usually has sort of 3 to 5 ohm resistance, and whatever you do, don't check the resistance of an airbag component with a multimeter because you'll blow it up. It doesn't have to go above the 3 or 4 ohms or whatever it is for it to put the light on, even though you can see those connectors are in. But if I was to unplug those, wiggle them about, plug them back in, I bet the light will go off. Let's have a look. I'm going to try and do this one-handed while I hold the phone with the other, so this should be interesting. Right, here we go. So just pull around on the plugs a bit, just give them a wiggle. Now, if it doesn't work for the driver's seat, it's usually the driver's seat, and this is where you would start because obviously it's the seat that gets used the most. So have a pull around on the wires, push the connectors in. I mean, it all feels pretty solid. But let's turn the ignition on now and see if the light's gone off. Here we go. Oh, would you look at that? The light has gone off. So there we go. Now, if it doesn't go off, check the passenger side. Do the same as what you did with the driver's side and check it again. If it doesn't go off, pull the connectors apart, make sure the connectors are good and that the pins aren't opened up or anything like that. Make sure they're good. Plug them back in, try again. If the light still doesn't go off, then it's a trip to the garage to plug in a scanner and diagnose it from there, because it could be a rotary coupler problem or a broken wire or something along those lines. So it may not necessarily be the connections under the seat, but it's a good place to start if you don't have any diagnostic equipment. There we go, and that took 2 minutes. Garage would charge you 50-60 quid to do that, except they would plug into it first. It would come up with a pretensioner open circuit as a fault code, because that's what the wiring is for under the seat. It's for the pretensioners, or the airbag inside the seat for the side airbag. And all they would do is they'd fiddle around with the plugs, pull them out, plug them back in, secure the wiring so it doesn't move around so much or doesn't get pulled when the seat is moved, clear the fault code, the light go off, and they'll charge you 60 quid. So before you go to the garage, just double check that first, because you never know, it might sort it out and you could save yourself a few quid. Thanks for watching, people, and we'll see you on the next one.